Hi, we're back with SB19. Am I absolutely tired? Yes! Am I absolutely gonna force myself to pull through? I will. I will watch this and I will pay attention and I will understand what I'm watching and I will post it. Finally, we're watching Casual Truck documentary. Y'all have been telling me to watch that for a while, and I only recently felt like I was ready enough to finally watch it because I was constantly thinking about them and I constantly got curious and I constantly wanted to see them on my feed, and I've been trying to not put them on my feed because I didn't want spoilers for things that I didn't see that I'm supposed to react to. But after filming this video, after this week, I'm 100% gonna put them on my feed, and whatever I see, whatever spoiler I see, I saw it, y'all didn't see my reaction to it, I'm sorry. It's y'all's fault, because like y'all got me into them, and when I get into a group, I will constantly think about them, and if I constantly think about them, I will constantly want to see them, see new things. It doesn't necessarily have to be new things, but like if it's always the same thing, then you know, I've been repeating the same things over and over again. I want something new, and I can't always record, you know, so I'm gonna put them on my TikTok feed. Hopefully I won't get spoiled too much. Hopefully. I don't know, we'll see. That's the spoiler that I'm going to see, their personalities. That's what I've been trying to avoid. But on the other hand, on the positive note, like if I put them on my feed and I see more of their personalities on my feed, I will be sure about who my bias is. I will be 100% sure. Right now I'm like 85%. The personality is the 15%. Also, this thing probably has like spoilers, song spoilers. I've made peace with that. It's fine. Disclaimer: this video is not based on my personal research only. Brain work. I know we are tired, but you need to work right now. This video is only based on my personal research. I might miss some details and it's possible to have discrepancies. But I did my best to get as much accurate information as possible, so enjoy. I will try to do so.
When you hear the words pop music and the best boy band, who comes to mind?
BTS. Wait a minute.
Who comes to mind?
Wait.
The words pop music and the best boy band, who comes to mind?
No. Aish! Ah, it was them. Okay. No man, I thought I saw people that should not have been there. It wouldn't have made sense for them to be there. Anyway, it's BTS for me. Pantons! You're done. Let me not be too loud.
That the most overlooked boy group in our generation might be these guys.
Most overlooked? How old is this video?
That the most overlooked boy group in our generation might be these guys. In the last 6 years, these guys turned a small Korean entertainment company into a company that produced the greatest P-pop group ever.
Are you proud?
Pablo's here! Pablo's here!
Accomplished that without making a few enemies.
K-pop. Lima pala sila. K-pop pangit.
Some of them coming from unexpected.
Wait a minute. Let's not pass P-pop as original as plagiarism. Let's not pass P-pop as original as plagiarism. What does that even mean? Genuine question. What does that mean?
And you don't accomplish that without making a few enemies.
I think I'm gonna turn these off. I can hear him, number one, and also it's kind of... Yo, English.
K-pop. Lima pala sila. K-pop pangit.
Some of them...
Are they? Oh. Dang it. I need the captions now. Did he say... Exactly, I'm pretty sure I heard he did say K-pop.
You don't accomplish that without making a few enemies.
K-pop. Lima pala sila. K-pop pangit.
Are we talking about SB19? Were they talking about SB19 when they say K-pop? Sounds like it. Now, why would you say... Okay, whatever. Sorry.
some of them coming from unexpected places.
Pinoy ba daw?
Parang may ginaya rin.
But behind the group, expected places.
Pinoy ba daw?
Parang may ginaya rin.
I know that man
Behind the group
is.
are 5 driven
This music is so dramatic. This is so dramatic.
Pinoy ba daw?
Parang may ginaya rin.
But behind the group are 5 driven men who were about to transform what was once a laughingstock genre in music into the fastest growing genre of the world.
Ever since we had this goal, and not just for us, but for the entire industry.
Feeling ko hindi pa natin nakukuha yung recognition na dapat para sa atin.
Between disbanding before they even debuted,
All hope is lost, parang nung time na yun.
becoming industry outcasts and getting bashed by their own countrymen,
Sana magkaroon tayo ng grupo na hindi naman mangkataasan ng tangos ng ilong. Para talagang original
Wait, what?
grupo na
I hope we get a group with noses that are not too pointy. Okay.
hindi naman mangkataasan ng tangos ng ilong. Para talagang original.
Whatever that means. Okay.
the rise of SB19 may not be
No.
the greatest Filipino
was that?
success story ever.
Maganda kasi yung revenge kasi talaga yung success na ipapakita mo sa mga tao hindi naniniwala. Maganda kasi yung
Sorry.
The rise of SB19 may not be the greatest Filipino success story ever.
maganda kasi yung revenge kasi talaga yung success na ipapakita mo sa mga tao
It is.
hindi naniniwala.
But it certainly is the most inspiring one.
Why are we crying? He winked at me. See, I'm focusing on the wrong things. Oh, but like these are great shots of the. These are great shots of them. Sound break, remake. It's clicking now that whisper challenge video that I saw of them that said 6 years ago was 2020. When I saw 2020, I didn't think, oh, that was so long ago. No, until I remembered it's 2026. It's 2020. 2020 was 6 years ago. Who keeps flipping? Who is that? Is it Ken?
This is called Triple, a group of talented performers and comedians from
It's in
Korea
cult,
you've probably
Lina.
never heard of.
Cult.
They were formed back in
Not cult. Why cult? Why cult? Especially in the industry that y'all are from.
This is called Triple, a group of talented performers and comedians from Korea you've probably never heard of. They were formed back
Yeah, I've
in
never heard of
1994 when the word K-pop hasn't even been invented. In 2002, one of the members made the biggest mistake of his life, which will change the entire course of P-pop history.
What, is he the CEO of their company?
That member was Jong Song Han. It all started when he left the trio in 2002 to become an entrepreneur. Cult Triple became Cult 2. Most of their fans thought that Songhan's decision was a huge mistake because the remaining members started racking up different awards in the entertainment industry. If he only stuck around, he would have gotten those awards too. But this man's decision was final. He used all of his savings to build an event organizing company called ShowBT Entertainment. Today we know him as Tatang Robin. Fast forward to 2015. The fight at the
what I want to understand is why he suddenly decided that I don't want to be in Korea anymore. I want to create an entertainment industry in a whole different country. And how did he land on Philippines? That's what I want to know. I'm curious.
Century just happened. One Direction's Drag Me Down was all over the radio, and Big Bang was the biggest K-pop boy group, while P-pop has top one project. Chances are
Wait a minute. One Direction dragged me down. Dang it. I think I forgot when One Direction was One Direction. Oh, they just banded in 2015. So the thing is, he said One Direction and Big Bang in one sentence, and in my head, Big Bang are old, back to back. But they're not even that. They are though. Didn't they debut in like 2005 or something? They are old. They are an old group. That's what messed with my head. Because in my head, One Direction is not that old, and Big Bang is old. So putting them in one sentence sounded weird to me, but it does make sense. Just my head.
happened. One
Anyway.
Direction's Drag Me Down was all over the radio.
2015.
Big Bang was the biggest K-pop boy group.
In
While
2015.
P-pop has top one project. Chances are, you have never heard of them. But somewhere in Makati, Philippines, an audition was held. Tatang Robin was looking for young talents who would be part of the package of their service as an event organizers. Talents who can perform on their own but can also serve as backup dancers and singers to their main performers. One of the main attractions of the SAT audition was if you're good enough, you might just debut as a member of Show BT's first ever P-pop group to undergo a Korean-style training. Filipinos don't get opportunities like that so often, so hundreds of talents applied, but only 30 made it as trainees. They were initially called the Show BT Musical Gala Team, but then later dubbed as NARA, which in Korean means country, and also happens to be the national tree of the Philippines. If you're a fan who is deep into the P-pop scene, you would recognize some of the future P-pop stars, but one of the most notable ones is this guy.
Yeah.
On the first day of
Ooh.
training, one guy stood out because he was just alone standing awkwardly in the corner.
That's why he stood out?
He was facing the wall and making
He
hand
touched
gestures
himself.
as if he was
Why
rapping.
am I laughing? I talk to myself. I heard that's a sign of intelligence. Especially on you, not on me. You know what, let me not talk down to myself, but at the same time, not on me. But on you!
He was facing the wall and making hand gestures as if he was rapping in front of it.
Nakatayo sa gilid. Biglang gaganon. Sabi ko, anong ginagawa na? Nagre-record pa sa gilid?
That guy was John Paulo Nasser. He always wanted to be a performer. As a young dreamer, he joined several competitions as a soloist and also as a member of the K-pop dance cover group called PHP. In training, he was the guy who shows up early and leaves late despite juggling a full-time job as a data analyst to help
As a
provide for
what?
his family. He was selected due to his undeniable diligence and leadership qualities. He is known to have critically acclaimed songwriting ability. Some of my sources even said that he had already written dozens of songs at this time. He's also a badass rapper and was often called a genius but consistently denied it because he claimed to be just a hard worker. This made him the destined leader of the group. He was known as Sejin at the time but later would be known as Pablo.
Now, how did we get to Pablo? Very curious. How did we get to that? I can see how we got to Josh. It's his name. How we got to Stell, that's his name. How we got to Justin, that's his name. How did we get to Ken as well? Ken and Pablo, how did we get there?
30
By the
as
way,
Pablo.
he looks great here.
30 trainees are a lot of trainees. It would take a very observant person with an eye for talent to notice Pablo in that corner. So who was that observant person with an eye for talent?
It looks like you're saying
Who
it's
was
Stell.
also a trainee. Stel Vester,
Implying.
a hero. He was only a kid when he started competed as a performer. As a dancer, he racked up win after win on a national level with his school crew and became their official choreographer, teaching crewmates 2 to 3 years older than him. He later joined a dance crew called Seon and went on to win international titles. Stel obviously worked so hard. Amidst his studies and competitions, he also worked part-time as a McDonald's service crew and teaching dance to kids with special needs. There was a point that he worked too hard that he wound up
You know, hearing these underdog stories just makes me realize stuff like this makes you reflect on yourself sometimes, and you're like, I don't want to do that. Why are you making me do that? 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 The way y'all move!
studies and competitions, he also worked part-time as a
I
McDonald's
cannot say I
service
could
crew
never,
and teaching dance to kids
because I
with
genuinely
special
don't know.
needs.
Like
There was a point that
I'm unpredictable. I'm so unpredictable. I cannot tell you whether I could or I could not do. Well, not Pablo. Pablo he's a genius. I would never. I'm talking about this whole working multiple jobs thing. Talking about Stell. I was not talking about the things that Pablo does. I don't know if I could or not. I'm so unpredictable.
worked so hard. Amidst his studies and competitions, he also worked part-time as a McDonald's service crew and teaching dance to kids with special needs. There was a point that he worked too hard that he wound up in the hospital. His poor health caused him to lose his earnings and nearly his life.
Dang.
Fortunately, he was able to recover. This made him the obvious choice to become the choreographer of the group. But little did they know that dancing wasn't his only talent. As a kid, he joined the school choir to become the only male soprano and only improved as he gotten older. He easily became the main heavenly voice of the group because his vocals were just
What is he wearing?
out of this world. Unlike
I love his
Pablo,
voice.
Stel was very friendly to everyone. In fact, one of his closest friends also auditioned and made it as a trainee. This friend is nothing to be trifled with because having the worst upbringing among the others made him the strongest when it comes down
Looks
to
like-
pure guts and determination.
Oh,
Josh Cullen Santos.
they're my friends. Aww. And they debuted
He
together.
left home
Aww.
at the age of 16 and it was his decision. From growing up in a toxic environment to being physically abused as a kid by their nanny. I'm talking about getting poured candle wax all over their body. At an early age, he experienced what it felt like to be a member of a middle-class family that went rock bottom in just a matter of months. They got evicted from medium-sized apartments to increasingly smaller rooms. It came to a point when his family had nothing to eat with rice but ketchup and salt. They had no permanent address. Because of that, Josh and his sister
Ever tried eating rice, oil, and salt? That's a combo right there. Been there.
It came to a point when his family had nothing to eat with rice but ketchup and salt. They had no
Ketchup and salt?
permanent
Nah, salt and oil.
Josh and his sister dropped out of school multiple times, so they got bullied at school for being repeaters. Sometimes he
No.
would even get into fist fights for defending her. Josh had enough of this, so he decided to leave to become independent and started working as an internet cafe attendant. Using his own income, he took the alternative learning system to attain his high school degree. He initially had no background in performing. Not until he found Stel performing with his dance group called Seyon. Josh became
What was
an
that?
instant fan and
What was that? What was this? What was this? This.
found Stel performing with his dance group called Seyon. Josh became an instant fan, and when they connected, Stel became his mentor, which led to them becoming co-members, and they went on to win numerous K-pop dance cover competitions all over Asia. They even met BTS during one of their winning runs in Korea. So from champion
What? That's very old. When was that?
BTS during one of their winning runs in Korea.
What was that? That was a long time ago. A long time ago.
Yeah. So from champions to trainees. What else is in store for them?
My.
From then on, their lives became all about performing in small events and training.
We had one mentor when we were training. Tapos, more on personality development siya. Tapos, presenting ourselves on stage.
We had no idea that the Korean-style training they went through
It's far, far from what they've been doing sa Korea.
was nothing but a mere marketing strategy.
But yung skill-wise, parang ganun. We were left on our own.
They were left alone to fend for themselves, sharing knowledge to improve each other with the hope of making the cut.
Yeah, imagine teaching others only not to make it yourself. Damn, I know people were bitter. I know there were people who were bitter.
Told me that Pablo had to record some of their vocal sessions to effectively coach his co-trainees.
Aw.
All of that without salary. This went on for roughly a couple of years. And
A
I don't
couple
know
of
about you
years?
guys, but this for me sounded kind of brutal.
A couple
It's
of
not
years.
easy to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again without any form of guidance.
Yeah,
They
I
were
would've-
also kept
I
in the
would've
dark
quit.
about their debut date.
I don't like not having a destination, guys. It's just I don't like it. It's uncomfortable for me. So I wouldn't have been able to do that. I wouldn't have. I
Without any
can't do
form
it.
of guidance. They were also kept in the dark about their debut
Guidance
date.
just
So
makes me
frustration
think-
started brewing until it reached the point when it only took one trigger to call it quits. On one seemingly normal training day, all trainees were already in the studio. Except for Josh.
Like no
On the same
movement.
morning, the train broke down.
Like if it was like stagnant, like the same thing over and over, a couple of years, there aren't even levels, nothing. Nah, I wouldn't have done that. Mm-mm.
Except for Josh. On the same morning, the train broke down.
Nasira MRT during that time. Nasira yung MRT.
Sinuspindi ang operasyon ng MRT dahil sa power outage.
It wasn't really an accident, but this would still worry anyone, especially the trainees, because it's highly unusual for Josh to miss training. Later that morning, Josh arrived. His co-trainees felt relief because Josh turned out to be safe.
Why is this
You would think
so
their
dramatic?
company would react the same way, right?
What?
Wrong.
Did they cut him?
They decided to terminate his training.
Na-late ako, tapos tinanggal ako.
That was
That's
the
crazy.
trigger.
Oh, that's
Tinanggal
crazy.
po ako, nag-quit din yung mga grupo ko. Nag-quit din sila kasi parang naging trigger na point na kung tatanggalin mo si Josh,
Umalis kami sa grupo.
ganun mo lang kadali itapon yung lahat ng efforts and passion tsaka dreams namin.
Show BT had two choices: to keep all trainees or to keep no trainees. The company chose the latter. Everyone left except for Stel.
Parang si Stella lang yung naiwan ko lang talaga sa
Why? You were his friend still.
training room.
What's your excuse?
Talagang down na down lahat.
Si Stel natira kasi doon during that time.
Stel set aside all his frustration and remained focused on his goal.
Bro said I gotta put me first.
Devastated.
All
Bro said gotta look out for number one.
In Josh's
But dang.
case, we can only imagine the pain he must have felt to have been booted out of his dreams. Days passed, everyone still feeling down about that incident. Then Pablo's phone receives a message.
brother, balik ka na, brother.
It was Josh. Out of all the trainees, the guy that got sent packing was the same guy who actively convinced everyone to continue chasing their dreams. Perhaps this was the sheer guts and determination from his life experiences in full display. Pablo hurried back to the studio to find Stel alone. But not for long. Josh came back next and took the initiative to convince the company to have them back.
Pumunta lang po ako doon at syempre kung kinakailangan na makiusap.
So back to training, they went.
Hindi na naman magkahiwalay ng grupo, pero bumalik sila kasi hindi nila ako inuwan.
That's crazy.
There was only 3 of them for a while. Then a few other trainees started coming back. So Show BT put together a talent workshop to get more talents to keep the business going. This was batch 1. This was batch 2.
To keep the business going, where did they get their money? Like, were the trainees paying?
He got scouted right away because he was a very good-looking guy.
Yeah.
Already was a decent singer and dancer. When he joined, he immediately saw a familiar face in Josh.
You look familiar, as do you.
Apparently, Josh told Justin about the workshop because the two already had a stint performing together in a dance cover group called Zero to Hero. So Justin as well wasn't new in the world of performing. He auditioned to be a part of the televised Pinoy boy band Superstar, but he didn't even make it to the live auditions. Perhaps it was fate. That group is nowhere to be found today. Justin obviously deserved better. He went on to finish his college degree in multimedia arts, which earned him a filmmaking skill that would prove very crucial to their success. In the future. With Justin on board, this completed their prototype boy group.
No, someone.
It's composed of Justin, Pablo, Stel, Josh, Zeno, Kurt, and JP. They did multiple test runs leading up to their entry to Pinoy K-Pop Star 2017. They performed B-Day by Icon in an epic fashion, but they didn't win. At this point, ShowBT seemed to have hit a roadblock. The group felt like something was missing. I don't exactly know what happened to Zeno, Kurt, and JP. They either quit or ShowBT felt the need to let go of them and get someone who could take this already great group of guys and push them to achieve the next level. The extraordinary level. This years in the making project of ShowBT needed to reach its peak. So they started the online auditions. When Josh heard about it, he was like, I know a guy.
You know a guy? Josh knows everybody. Why does Josh know everybody?
The guy he was talking about was a pain in his butt because their groups have clashed multiple times in their early dance competitions and their battles were always neck and neck. That guy's name
I thought I heard something. I'm just going to ignore it.
was Philip John Suson. He was such a specimen. He was so naturally gifted that
Rosa is such a specimen. He said he was such a specimen. You know what? Yeah.
he was such a specimen. He was so naturally gifted that excelling in sports looked like a walk in the park for him. He grew up in the church under the care of his grandparents. He was an artistic kid, so he was active as an editorial cartoonist in school. Nobody taught him how to play musical instruments. He taught himself by just listening to the music, so he ended up becoming a southpaw guitarist, but he later then fixed it as he learned more. He was also a gifted singer as a kid. Every time there was a family gathering, he was always forced to sing karaoke by his relatives. But when he hit puberty, he lost confidence in his voice because he could no longer hit high notes. But his confidence came back after being mentored by Pablo, who taught him how to harness his unique low voice that seemingly sounds like it came from the underworld.
His eyes.
When it comes to dance, he didn't know he could do it until he was forced to in order to get good grades during their school intramurals. After discovering dance, he transformed from a guy who didn't know it to someone who can fly. Because of his raw talent, he ended up teaching dance to the entire school and continued on to join the dance group called Amigo 7, a would-be rival of Josh and Stel's crew, Seyon. It quickly became a reverse if you can't beat them, then join them kind of deal. So Josh recruited Ken. But there was a problem. He was hundreds of islands away and didn't have the money. What did Josh do? He shelled out for his plane ticket. With nothing else to lose, Felip went and left his previous life in the countryside. He then trained with the boys and officially debuted with them as Ken, the main dancer, the bass vocalist, and the lead rapper of the group. One thing to note is that they were an unlikely bunch because they wouldn't have met each other if Tatang Robin stayed with his already successful group in Korea. Justin didn't make it in his first audition, so he almost didn't try again until Josh told him to do so. And Ken wouldn't even have the opportunity.
Josh basically created this group. This group is Josh's group. This is Josh's group. Josh.
To join if the Showbiz trainees didn't come back after that quitting incident. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the butterfly effect. When a small and seemingly insignificant occurrence has a rippling effect through time, leading to a consequential event sometime long after the initial event. Or as Google would put it, the phenomenon whereby a minute localized change in a complex system can have large effects elsewhere. Tatang Robin's so-called mistake back in 2002 led to forming the future P-pop Kings. In 2018, SB19 was formed. The name of the group was carefully picked. The number 19 is the sum of Korea and the Philippines country code digits, 82 and 63. So 8 plus 2 plus 6 plus 3 is 19. If you subtract both numbers, you also get the same result. SB doesn't only mean show BT. It is also about their ultimate goal for Pinoy sound to break into the music industry, which is fearlessly represented by this phrase: Soundbreak.
Oh, I think that's over. Who was that? Soundbreak remake, research, copy, what? Now that was incredibly dramatic, but I enjoyed it. It was a great video. I wonder how long it took him. Like seriously, every second I was watching that thing, I was like, I wonder how long this took you, because the dedication. Clapping hands for the dedication. I'm excited to see the other episodes. That is quite the journey they have had. Wow. I mean, I knew they were underdogs, but wow. Yo.